Okay, so get your blankets and your pillows ready. Get your playlist ready. It's gonna be very chill today. This is a spring themed practice, and I know we're well into spring, but it's only really starting to feel like spring with all of the flowers blooming and such. Okay, so I am about to start my playlist. I'll give you another couple seconds to get organized, and then we can start it together. Okay, so I am going to start in 3, 2, 1. So if you need to take a minute to get your volume equalized, I'll talk for a moment. And when you're ready, we'll just come to a seated position on the mat. You might want to sit on a pillow, get yourself nice and comfy. We'll be doing lots of nice stretches today. Okay, so getting settled. We're looking for a nice tall spine here. Legs in any sort of position that's comfortable for you. Closing down through the eyes. Taking a nice deep breath in. And sighing out. Nice deep breath in. Long deep breath out. And one more. Just make sure that you're on mute there. I don't know if anybody is still, but if you need to get a hold of me, just write a little note in the chat there. Okay. We're all good. Okay, so we'll learn a new breath technique this time, and it's called the psychological sigh. So you've probably done it unintentionally before, and what it is basically you're going to take like a nice deep breath, but not all the way. So say like maybe 80-90% of a full breath. You're going to take a little pause, and then you're going to do the rest of that 10%. So like a big deep breath and then a little sip. So it's something like this. And then you sigh out. So this is really common if you've been like crying really hard, which it sounds like a lot of people have been doing this week. Not that I'm laughing at your crying, but I've been there, so I get it. That's why I'm laughing. So we'll do a nice big deep breath in, a little sip in, big sigh out. And when you sigh out, let your shoulders drop down, let all the tension leave your body. The reason that we do this when we're crying is just our natural body's need to regulate itself and to stimulate the vagus nerve. So do a couple at your own pace. And just notice how you're feeling now. If you feel maybe a little bit more relaxed than you did before we started our practice. So just letting your breath turn back to its natural rhythm now. Just settling into the present moment. You've got the rest of this hour to just totally lean into relaxation. Preparing yourself for a really good night's sleep tonight. The theme for our practice today is spring. And there are a lot of things that spring can bring us. Almost like spring cleaning for the body and the mind. Out with the old, in with the new. Making way for new beginnings. So we'll start to bring some movement into the body now. And making sure that we're sitting nice and tall through the spine, shoulders down. We'll start to make just little circles with the nose. Just small little movement here. Getting progressively bigger. Making sure we're taking care of the back of the neck. Until we're so large that we're rocking sort of from shoulder to shoulder. Getting into all those nooks and crannies. All the stiff parts that we create through texting and sitting on computers all day. And when you feel ready, changing directions, this time going from big circles to small. Taking your time. No rush. Smaller and smaller with the nose. Until you finally reach a place of stillness. And then just basking in that stillness for a moment. Beginning to draw the shoulders up towards the ears and back and down the spine. Making little circles. And changing directions. Perhaps isolating the right shoulder forwards and backwards. And the left shoulder forwards. And backwards. And on a deep breath in, we'll bring the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Exhale, draw them all the way down. Feeling that tension just melt out of the body. Up to the ears. And one more. So we're going to do some cat-cow, but this time we're going to do it from a seated position. So it's going to be coming from our shoulders and from our chest. So the same thing that we were doing before with our cow, we're going to draw the shoulder blades together, open the front of the chest, press the chest forward, deep breath in. Exhale, we'll round through the spine, draw the belly in, bring the shoulders forward, rounding through, coming into a cat. At your own pace now. Might even bring the head into it, pointing the nose up for your cow, rounding down through your cat. Coming through center. We'll take the left hand down to the mat, right hand up and overhead on the inhale. Coming into a crescent stretch here. Turning to face the ceiling, opening up through the chest. Exhale, right hand comes back down. Inhale, left hand comes up. Turning to face the ceiling. Exhale, left hand down. Flowing back and forth with the breath now. And when we next come through center, we'll bring both hands up and overhead. Right hand to left knee, we're returning to twist to the left. Inhale back through center. Exhale, left hand to right knee, twisting to the right. Moving at your own pace with the breath. And when we next come through center, we'll bring the hands together in steeple mudra, so that's this one, the pointed fingers if you don't remember. We'll take a slight back bend, bringing the chin and the nose up. Exhale, forward fold. It's coming all the way down, as far as you can reach. Inhale, back up. Slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold. One more at your own pace. And coming back to center. So we're going to move into a table position now, but just make sure you have your pillows and maybe like a rolled up blanket if you have one nearby. I'd suggest a couple pillows because we're going to be using them quite heavily throughout the rest of the practice. So if you need a minute to grab those, go right ahead. I'm going to come into my table and grab a little sip of tea. Okay, so table is as tall as we're gonna go today, so I think you'll be able to see me. Yeah, you'll be able to see me just fine. So knees hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart, neutral spine. We've already done our cat-cow stretches, so we won't worry about those. We'll plant the right hand into the mat. We'll take the left hand up into a twist. And then the left hand is gonna thread under the space under the right arm until your shoulder comes to drop down to the mat. The right arm kind of bends at a 90-degree angle. Your thighs are 90 degrees, still nice and straight. Just holding for as long as feels comfortable. Wringing out the body like a sponge. And when you feel ready, coming back to center. Planting the left hand, right hand comes up into a twist. And slides under the left hand. Right hand coming down, or right shoulder coming down to the mat, right ear. Coming into our table twist. Coming back to center. You could turn this into a flow if you like, going a little bit faster, or if it feels good to hold it. That's up to you. Whatever you're feeling like you need today. Whatever pace you need today. Oh, I just felt my spine crack. That was nice. I'll give you a minute to come back through center here. And we'll be coming down into puppy stretch. So we're going to use our Sphinx arms. So we're using the forearms here. We're going to walk out a couple of hand widths here. And then we're going to drop the elbows down. Drop the head down. So if you want to get really comfy here, you might grab a pillow. Or even two. I'm losing my mic in here. And we're going to walk the hands out, drop the elbows down, bringing the front of the chest down towards the mat. Experimenting with how close you want these pillows, or if you want them at all. We're keeping the thighs 90 degrees. Really opening through the front of the chest here. Making sure we're not drawing the shoulders too close to the ears. If you decide not to use your pillows, it'll look something like this. So you might walk the hands up even further, up to you. Depends on the kind of depth. If you want more depth in your stretch, you might not use the pillows. If you're feeling like you need some support, that's okay too. You might even kind of turn your head to one side, lying on your pillow if you feel like it. Switching directions with the head. And when you feel like you've had enough, coming back to our table pose. And we'll be coming into a supported child's pose now. So pretty similar, but a little bit more supported. So there's a couple things that we can do here. You can bring the pillows in between the knees, taking the knees nice and wide. And again, we'll walk the hands out, coming into our supported child's pose. Again, you can turn the head to the side. Just letting the body slowly sink into the pose. Turning the head whenever it feels right. Just letting the body sink. Feeling safe and supported. If you want to experiment with this pose a bit, you might take the hands to the back of the mat next to the feet and let the forehead rest right on the pillow. I'm going to take my glasses off for this. Make sure you can breathe. when you feel like you've had enough of your child's pose, we'll be moving into pigeon, but if you're really enjoying that child's pose, you might just stay there, that's okay. For a pigeon pose, keep one pillow kind of down to your side and one pillow out in front. So actually, I'll move mine to this side just so you can see what I'm doing now. So we'll come up into our table to get ready here. We'll send the left leg long, right leg will come up, right knee comes up in between the hands. And you might want to, actually I'll show you on the other side real quick so you can just see what I'm doing with my bum here. You might want to stick a pillow under the buttocks here, just for a little extra support, and then you can kind of like lean into that pillow. So I'll swap sides again so we can see what's happening. So tucking one pillow under the bum, untucking the toes, experimenting with how close this foot is to the groin. Closer would probably be actually more comfortable. Too far away and you'll get like a really, really deep stretch in the hip. So depending on what you're looking for, you can take one pillow, maybe folding it in front of you. And again, if you feel comfortable walking out the hands and resting the head on the pillow. Feeling that stretch in the right hip. If you'd like a deeper stretch, you might remove that pillow that's under the bum. Just letting the body sink. These poses are all sort of passive. They're just letting the body weight sort of sink into all of the little nooks and crannies where we hold tension. And gently pushing back up. We'll slide the right knee up, coming back into our table. Flipping your pillow over to the other side if you're using it under your bum. This time the right leg extends, left leg comes up in between the hands. Untuck the toes of the right foot and we'll sink down into the left hip this time. And again, if you feel comfortable walking the hands out, noticing perhaps if one hip is tighter than the other. And moving mindfully, pressing the body back up, curling those toes under. Or what you might do is actually just sort of like turn around with the body coming back to our table. And then we'll swing the legs out to the side, coming back into our seated position. Just gonna grab a sip of water here. Let's see how much time we have. There's a pose that I wanted to do, but I don't know if we'll have time for. We're kind of running out of time. Okay, so we'll come into a lying pose. Make sure you have your pillows nearby. We'll send the legs out long, and we'll take a pillow. These are kind of like really thin pillows, which is why I double them up, so it depends on the thickness of your pillow. But we're going to sort of position it just a little bit away from your bum. So it's going to be supporting the upper back. And we're just going to slowly lean down into it. Legs are straight. And then if you feel like you need support for your head, you might put another pillow there. But we're looking for like a bit more opening of the chest. So you want your chest a little bit higher than your head, if that's comfortable for you. If it's not, you might need some more head support. But this is called supported fish pose. So we actually don't really get a lot of movement in the upper spine, so it's kind of nice to get just a gentle bend there. If it's not comfortable for you, you might scooch that pillow down to the lower back. If you really enjoy those hip openers, you might draw the soles of the feet together, opening them out to the sides. And what you could do if you have blocks or more pillows, I gotta reach my blocks here, is place them underneath the knees. So soles of the feet together, you might support the knees with blocks. Hands can come out to the sides or on the belly. Again, if it's more comfortable for your pillow to support the lumbar spine, that's okay too. Just feeling totally supported. So you have the option of staying here if you're really cozy, or what you might do is walk up a little bit, turn your pillow sideways to the mat, and if you have another pillow or a block, placing it in between the legs and coming in to a supported fetal position here, with one pillow sort of supporting the space between your ribs and your hips, and the other between your legs. You could support your head with another pillow if you're just rolling in pillows over there, or with the head. Or if you want a deeper twist, you might open up through the front of the body, coming into our recline twist, bringing the head to the other side. Whenever you feel ready, switching sides, bringing the legs up together, rolling over to the other side. Again, coming into the twist if that feels nice for you. And then coming back to center, Moving mindfully, slowly.